Hello, my name is Adrian,
And my name is Joseph,
and this is
the Runaway Thoughts.
Joseph, describe the relation between Cherry and her sister and her dad.
The relationship isn't so good at all because her dad drinks a lot of alcohol and often passes out, so they get worried about him, but they do take care of him as cooking a meal for him. Cherry and her sister's relationship are much better because they have similar stuff, and it seems like they only have each other because their mom is in Indonesia with her husband. When Cher went on tour, she drifted apart from her sister and her dad
Why do you think they drifted apart?
because she was taking a lot of drugs during the tour and they were too busy to call them or to meet them. But when she took a break from the band, she came closer to her dad and her sister. What do you think, Adrian?
I think it's very important that you have a strong connection with your family because you never know they can die, so it was good that Cherry went back to her family and built up their relationship. How do you think Impala is as a producer or manager to the band?
In the beginning, he was pretty aggressive and stubborn because he wanted everything in his way. He's kind of a naughty man, though, because he wants them to be dirty, also dress slutty, and even the lyrics that he wrote were pretty dirty. He wants to earn so much money as he can, and as I said before, he was very stubborn. Um, why do you think he was so aggressive and dirty?
He always thought about money, and I believe drugs were involved too. So he was in need of money, so he got aggressive when they failed at some gigs. What do you think, Joseph?
I believe you got a point, Adrian. Drugs are not the answer, and when you get addicted, you could get aggressive if you don't get your drugs.
Describe Joan and Cherry, their similarities and their differences.
This is a tricky question because we do not remember a lot from the movie, but they both took drugs during their tour in Japan. Sherry seems like a cute, sweet girl, and Joan seems more like a tough person. Sherry prioritized family when Joan prioritized music. They never mention anything about Joan's family. She seems kind of a lonely person. Sherry was young and Joan was a bit older, and it seemed during the movie that Joan was kind of a role model for Cherry.
Do you think they had any troubles being an only girl band?
Yes, they had some trouble as jealousy because Sherry looks kind of innocent and cute, and she was the singer of the group, so she got longer interviews and more photo shots than the rest. Cher was irreplaceable, and you can replace a drummer or a guitarist, but not a singer. Why did Cherry get most attention in Japan, Adrian?
Because she was the youngest one and seemed too sweet, and Japan liked things like that. It got a bit of a connection with manga.
Why do you think they were big in Japan?
Japan likes the idea of young girls that dresses like college but are still a bit dirty. They also like hard rock slash punk rock, as Tokyo Hotel was another band. J-pop, which is a big music genre, consists 90% of girls Japan. So Japan's like them as a girl band. How come they use a lot of drugs, especially Sherry?
Most of the artists use drugs because when you have such pressure on you, and sometimes it can cross the line, and then you need a getaway, and drugs can release you from stress, and then after a while you'll get addicted to it, and then you can't really stop, so it becomes a huge problem. You don't want to face reality and you start believing you are normal as the rest, but you're not because you're taking drugs. Would you take drugs as a getaway, Adrian?
No, because there are other and better ways to fix things, as taking a break or talking to a therapist. You get support from your family through stuff, so taking drugs is not an option for me.
Why do you think they called themselves the Runaways?
Because they ran away from their home with Kim Foley, with a dream to be a huge rock and roll band.
Why do you think Sherry had herself photographed for the Japanese magazine?
Kim Foley had sent her photos to them, He wanted to make ads for the band, so he's going to take pictures of the others too, but he didn't. Joseph, why didn't the rest get photographed?
Because he wanted to put all attention on Cherry because they absolutely loved her. Do you know any bands today consisting of only girls/women?
The only one that really comes to mind right now is Less Ketchup, which has created the famous track The Ketchup Song. Joseph, why do you think there are more boy bands than girl bands?
Because the ideal of the community is that girls/women should be at home taking care of children and cooking food for the men. So people thought they shouldn't play an electric guitar and so on, for example.
You have listened to the Runaway Thoughts.
Thank you for listening. Bye!
Bye. Have a nice day.